Hey golfers, it's Dave from Fit2 Golf. I just want to do an overview of a fitting I did recently that highlights some of the factors that go into fitting the female golfer. So this is someone who started playing golf about 18 years ago, but played very infrequently until the past few years where she started to play more regularly. When she started playing golf, even though she's right-handed, she found that she preferred to swing lefty, and so she plays left-handed clubs. Like a lot of golfers who play infrequently, she was still playing the very same equipment that she purchased 18 years ago, which were a set of Delta SL500 irons and 3-wood, 5-wood, and driver, and a kind of nondescript, very long putter. Now the full set had steel shafts, True Temper Command shafts. They were cut to what would be considered standard ladies' length. The 7 iron was 36 inches. But she complained that these clubs were too long, too heavy, and too hard on her joints. She would get kind of a jarring effect when she swung and hit the ground. Now, as a point of comparison, her driver swing speed was 64 miles an hour. She had a decent smash factor of 1.43 with that heavy club, but was only getting 110 yards a carry and a very low ball flight of only a peak height of 35 feet. So I knew that I could get her to swing faster and get better performance out of a lighter club, but my dilemma was flex, overall weight, and swing weight. This golfer has a really nice in-to-out swing, swings kind of slowly and deliberately with those heavier clubs, but didn't need equipment that would try to compensate for any major swing flaws. She could obviously handle the weight, and I suspected that the heavy weight had helped her groove a nice swing. So I didn't want to go super light. If I went with a L-Flex shaft, I'd be going with a very lightweight shaft, very flexible, and then I knew I was going to be cutting these to be half-inch below standard ladies' length, and I just knew that that would lose too much weight. I was worried that she would lose the feel for the club head and the swing. So I chose shafts that were all senior flex, so they still retained some weight, but had the bend profile that I was looking for to help her get some more distance and a higher launch. So for the driver and fairway wood, I went with the Maltby STW and STF. The driver is 10.5 degrees, and I went with a single fairway wood, a 5-wood at 18 degrees. I would have liked to have gone a little bit higher loft in the driver, but at left-handed, it's just really hard to find anything above that. I went with Pro Series shafts for both of these, the driver edition, which is a little lighter weight, and then the fairway wood shaft, both in senior flex, and I did not tip trim either of those shafts to get the best flex out of them. Now her prior set of irons didn't include any hybrid. She went 4 through sand wedge, so I went with Acer XV number 3 and number 4 hybrid, cut to 38 inches and 37.5 respectively. I chose the DHI hybrid series shafts from UST Mamiya. This is a lightweight shaft, but in senior flex still retains some weight. I did tip trim them, frequency match them all at 3.0 so that they would still have a nice flex to them and get the ball up in the air. For the irons, I went with the Maltby STIOS 6 through pitching wedge. I also used the DHI series iron shafts here in senior flex. Also frequency matched to 3.0. This is a nice lightweight shaft with a nice soft tip, and it really performs well for swing speeds like this golfer. So in addition to the pitching wedge that came with the set, I added 2 additional wedges, a 52 and a 56. These are the Acer XB. I always like to make wedges a little stiffer and a little heavier, so I went with FST 115 shafts and tip trim them so they would fall right between the L and A flex. And all the clubs are swing weighted at C3 plus or minus 1. For the putter, I went with the Maltby Moment X and cut it to 32 inches, and after fitting her I bent it 2 degrees flat. She was used to kind of gripping down on that longer putter and kind of crowding the ball, and so this gives her some options to stand back a little bit and get her eyes over the ball better. Now I'll put up some swings of her hitting the driver kind of right out of the box, the hybrids and an iron, and remembering that what I was trying to do was improve swing speed, carry, and ball height. With her driver, she was now swinging at 72 miles an hour, getting 145 yards of carry. That's a 30-yard increase, and almost doubled her ball flight. She was now hitting a peak height of about 60 feet. And I should add that after I stopped collecting data and the camera was off, the last shot she hit in the fitting with the driver went 175 yards in the air, really very straight with just the baby draw. So she was very happy with the clubs. The other thing that she commented on is that she realized that she was bracing for that impact that she was used to feeling with the heavy steel shafts. And so these clubs, being lighter, more flexible, and a better fit, shorter, are going to really add to her enjoyment of the game and to practice. So I think this video highlights how equipment can be holding golfers back, and I think especially for female golfers and junior golfers, they're often playing with clubs that they bought off the rack or hand-me-downs or cut-downs, and it really will diminish their enjoyment of the game if they're playing with poorly fit equipment, and it's also going to diminish their performance. So if you haven't been fit for 18 years for a set of clubs, go out and get fit. You're going to see a difference. So post your comments below. Let me know what you think of this fitting. Any things that you've come across when fitting golfers who swing a little more slowly and need some special attention to weight and flex. Beautiful fall golf weather here in the Northeast, so get out there and play and stay positive.